And welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Strategic Command World War I, the Cold Arms campaign as the Entente Powers. And the war, I think, is going pretty well. National morale for many of our Entente Powers is going well. We are doing some decent national morale damage to the opposition. Although we're maybe not in the position where everything is going our way. Is the supply so bad out here? We still can't reinforce? Oh dear. Well, we'll move up there because we're going to have a better chance of reinforcing next to the HQ anyway. Okay, we did have one sailing. HQ here. Can we get you? Yes. A couple turns, you'll end up in the Persian Gulf. That HQ will definitely help with supplying and marching up the Gulf. Yeah, there's probably going to be a guy there. We now know for certain. Okay, that's a UK cruiser. UK is a little cash-strapped, so I don't want to do the repairs on it this turn. You get a repair. You never dig in. Well then, get some trenches. Just running away off into the Austro-Hungarian rear because apparently there's a hole in their lines. We'll see how they respond. We're probably going to get cut off, and this Cav Corps is going to have a bad day. But in the meantime, I'm going to say that the Austro-Hungarians are probably having the bad day. Oh, they got interceptors. Okay, until we get fighters, that's not a good idea to do. So we're getting 2 to 1 here. Get that a little bit better, we'd actually probably be able to clear that hex and shorten the line a bit. So yeah, let's dump the shells in here. They're only going to do demoralization, but... There we go. Oops. No, 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 no. No, you're not even entrenched there. Get some entrenchment. Things are definitely going well over there. Over here, do I want to continue pushing? Down here? Probably no. Okay, so we've repaired a bunch of the mountain cores. Again, the main goal down here is probably either to take the national objectives or just to hurt the Ottoman forces enough they got to pull other forces off. Either from Gallipoli, the port over here. Yeah, from one of those two locations. Okay, there's the battleship's still there. You can't get into assist. You wouldn't have enough action points to get into shoot up. Okay. Well, I can't get you close enough. Enemy contact. Okay, who do we want to shoot at? Battleship, cruiser, cruiser. We'll take the cruiser that we're actually most likely to destroy. Oh, there's another one there. That was not the ship I wanted you to attack, my friend. Oh, then you can't go into that port anyway. Oh, you can't go to that port. Okay, we're gonna lose another armored cruiser, because of course we are, because the Germans are really here. Oh, I completely that. Okay. Yeah, so we're gonna lose that cruiser. Let's get really lucky it doesn't disengage. And it probably isn't gonna do that. Maybe it isn't gonna be that lucky. I was hoping to get the cruiser. Yeah. Don't think our recon bombers have naval attack yet. Oh, they do. They actually have two naval. Okay. We'll see if we can try to bomb the German ships that are being a little aggressive here. You know, you'd hope they'd be aggressive out here, and not. Interesting. Pretty sure they're still on the raiding route. Question is, where? And there's one over there. So I'm going to detach 2 of the destroyers to go that way. There it is. Or there it was. Okay. That wasn't necessarily the smartest of moves. Because they do have a destroyer, the destroyer will probably come out to deal with the sub. Although the destroyer doesn't retreat back into the port, then it'll be vulnerable to getting attacked with the battleship. At least you'll see. Okay, so I don't think we're going to get any good Serbia swings. So we're probably done with Serbia. We're done with the Eastern Front. We're done with the Sea Front. It's just the Western Front. Which is probably not going to see very many good swings. Almost tempting the 2-2s, but gonna pass. And really waiting for that artillery 1. We're only halfway there, so it's going to be a wait. Once we get that, though, it's going to be open season on basically blowing up a hex every couple turns. Oh, I now have a destroyer here. Yes. And a couple more dreadnoughts. Oh, found the sub. I was about to put a mine where the sub was, so hopefully the destroyer doesn't get too whacked. Definitely need some more Italian troops. Italians have 40 MPP. Okay. Can I reinforce you to full 40? Oh, I can get you to 8. We'll take that at least. Okay, so that's the Italians. We definitely want more Italian troops. Definitely not feeling in the position where we can attack the Italians. Although the Austro-Hungarians are pretty threadbare. Three's too tempting, although if I wait a turn, I might be able to get to the... Well, no, because I'll move the forward, but... Are we entrenched? We're not entrenched. Get some entrenchment. Okay. The only one with MPP left is the Serbians and the French. Okay. Well, I suppose that's a good thing for the Serbians. No more corps to deploy, no more detachments to deploy. They can save it for an artillery, they can get a cavalry. Montenegro can give us a couple more detachments. Definitely could use some detachments for the Eastern Front. Start getting those detachments for Montenegro. Or do I want that cav? Oh, and this is a division. This is not even a corps. So you're a soft 3-2, only 1 defense versus detachment, which is 3-2 with better defense values. Yes, we want those detachments. Take both Montenegro detachments. I would speed it up. I can't afford it. Going to be plenty of gas shell French. We got both aerial warfare going. Surprised I'm not able to do fighter development as the French. Or not able to get fighters as the French. And we've got, we lost one of these. Let's get the replacement in going. Leaves you with 180. Yeah, let's get both spying intelligence going on the French. British are done, done, done. Next turn, we'll grab the next industrial technology. Okay. Okay, let's cycle the turn. Let's see how the Central Powers are handling the situation. As the war gains more chaos. More hunger in Austria-Hungary. Population of Austria-Hungary welcomes the war with Italy. Lemberg is under siege. The defender morale is reduced. First units of Kitchener's new army deploy for service. French Foreign Legion deploys for battle. Units on the way out of the Persian Gulf. Russian blockades shipping out of the location. Breakthrough on production. Trench level warfare for France to 2. Industry tech level 1 for France. Breakthrough on trench for the Italians. Industry for the Russians. 14 for the USA. 220 for the Russians because they're on the line. 101 for Serbia. 53 for Italy because we've got mobilization there. 357 for France and 96 for Italy, or 96 for UK. The UK is spending too much everywhere, and thus doesn't have much left over for reinforcing and such. They hit my mines! Yeah, we lost the cruiser. Okay, they were able to get stuff to block that cav unit, so we're going to basically pull the cav unit back. As long as the road's open, we can run it back. Ooh, we lost the Dreadnought. That's not good. Again, it's really not good because we're mainly giving national morale to the Germans, so... To be fair, Belgrade is still holding, so we're definitely going to be screwing up the Ottoman-Austro-Hungarian supply alliance. And they're still suffering from that hunger. Another destroyer. British. Okay, so there's a group of French fighters. So we do get some fighters. We just don't get to pay for them. And we don't get told when they're showing up, which is a little bit of an annoying combo. We'll put the bombers right next to the fighters. I'm gonna put you down with the Italians, because I think the Italians are gonna need some backup. There we go, just put some mines in the channel. We're gonna be mostly safe in our own ports. If they keep hanging around here, we'll get the bombers. I'm gonna try to bomb them from the coastline. Okay, so you need to run back to friendly territory. Lemberg has fallen. Russians are definitely doing some work. It may at times be expensive work, but they're managing to do it. Yeah, well, that's all the Russian MPP. So that's what the Russians are doing this turn, guys. I could torpedo them, but we're not going to. I'm guessing the rest of the Russians are just hiding in port. Which, that's fair. Oh, because of the poor logistics here, we can't actually sneak around the unit to attack the HQ. Okay, you were only able to reinforce one because you only had enough MPP to reinforce one, not because you could have, in theory, probably done more than that. At least until the supply situation at Vaughn improves, we're not advancing. Well, there's maybe an argument that we'd rather have him garrison Vaughn than... But rearranging like that's going to take a little bit more effort than we've got available. So that's the Russian front. Serbian front. Serbians are doing a good job at holding, but don't really get any good opportunities for advancing. At this point, we might not actually need to send more to the Serbians. Probably want the infantry weapons. We'll probably end up building that Cav Corps. Or Cav Division. Because it's the last of the troops we can get besides the HQ and the artillery. Yeah, we'll grab you. The Serbians need every last man in uniform. Especially if, well, if Bulgaria comes in, we'll need every last man. Okay, fighters, and they still got their garrison. Okay. I'm slowly working way up Baghdad. I suppose from a partisan standpoint, it's maybe another reason to bring more down into Italy. Or down from Italy down to garrison here. Okay. This is a little gamey. That'll cover all the partisan spots, so we won't get any Tripolitania partisans. Technically, we got no garrison to Tripoli, which could be... that's what I'm saying, it's a little bit gamey, because we're stopping the partisans. There's no way they've got the sea capacity to get guys across, because of a problem. Okay, that was not good. I might be about to lose my destroyer. I was trying to get it to go to port. And we found more ships. Yeah. Oh. At least we can pick up a light cruiser. Take that swing, because that way that it's going to be in a bad position to take a swing back at us. Oops. No. 45. Has to run you 20. Okay, so we can get both of those up. Look at it as a cohesive front line, at least. Okay, the French front is going pretty well. Other than the fact that we aren't really attacking. But we're waiting for the artillery, which should be coming along soon. It's not on the route, but it's probably around here somewhere. It is on the route, apparently. Got a couple light cruisers I can bring up. Oh, this is a destroyer. I can bring you... Although we can't get you into range. Get you into range. Get a different sub. Interesting. Okay. Got the one off the line, at least. Oh, okay, we found it. Actually, that's the one we just chased off. So, at least we're interdicting that one, so that one shouldn't be doing some things for a moment. Okay, well, the blockade's working. This is special problems, but could be worse. At least the ports offer quite a bit of protection. The Russians spent, Serbia spent, the Americans pick up the next industry tech. Italians are spent. The British, I got lots of ships, a lot of stuff I want to send out. And I suppose stuff we want to repair if we get to port. Yeah, waiting there for the artillery. How far is the British along? That far along, and we can't speed it up. And we definitely want to get industry tech going on the French. Do you want to get more... Got an HQ on way. Got one line core. Really want another line core, and probably artillery, although the artillery is a real stretch. So let's get you on boat. And on your way. And then other than that, it would be thinking about Gallipoli or the Egyptian front. Yeah, I should probably back it up for the Egyptian front. That makes sense. So. We're going to send those two to the Egyptian front. And yeah, I think we want these 2 artillery pieces both in Egypt, or both in Western Front. So we were going to keep this one here. We just need to transport it across. Okay, and that's basically all the British are going to be able to do, because they're barely getting enough MPP, because we're spending it on everything. We got too much to spend it on. Got artillery, got infantry, got the aerial. We now know we have a plane, so it makes sense to probably grab some fighter development. We'd have to grab both ground attack for the plane to the org. Or the Dean Trench. Let's actually grab a second industry tech as France. So we'll be working towards 3. Okay. Let's cycle the turn. Loss of grain is still leading to more Hungary and Austria-Hungary. They've lost Lemberg, which lowers the national morale. Lemberg encourages Romania to swing towards the Entente. UK has hit trench warfare level 2. Got its spying intelligence level 1. Level 2 trench warfare for Russia. Industry tech level 1 for Russia, so that's 10% more industry for Austria. Canada line is still being raided, so we're only getting 132 for the UK. 354 for France, that's good. Italy's mobilized enough, it's now getting 178. Serbs is up to 105 due to all the shipping. That line's being raided. Being raided pretty hard, too. 314 and 14 for the US of A. Okay, that may have just saved the destroyer. Run up the rail cannon for Belgrade. Oh, interesting. We're running into Germans on the Austro-Hungarian front. Austro-Hungarians must be a bit threadbare then. We just took a national morale hit with the Italians, probably? Well, assuming they can occupy the city. They probably can. Or maybe they don't. There they go. Yeah, we do take the national morale hit to the Italians. Loss of grain from Galicia leads to hunger in Austria-Hungary. We had suffered the defeat, so lower the Italian national morale. It does boost the Austro-Hungarian national morale. Blockades are continuing. Belgrade damaged by bombing. 5th Corps destroyed. Lost one of their towns. Second Colonial French Corps. A British sub. Probably mostly going to be used to reconnaissance for subs. Fighter wing for the British. Fighter wing for the Russians. New dreadnought for the Russians. This time the Black Sea, okay? Okay, reinforce you. We can actually overstrength you, which we'll do. Research for the Serbians. We're gonna get trench warfare pretty quickly. Let's actually start getting infantry weapons on them. It's gonna be hard to get them upgraded with infantry weapons, but we can. It'll be good. Here we go, national morale objective of the Ottomans seized. And that is their local supply hub in the area. So the next is to get down to the port. Here's our HQ, which will help do supplying and commanding the troops over here. It's tempting to take the 0-2 on the HQ, but we're going to try to get the 1-3 on the Cav, and not enough. You're the last one going out to the Persian Gulf. You take a 1-2, but you're also not entrenched, so just get entrenched. One to 3. Definitely take that. Okay, not bad. Okay. Reinforce you. Why can't I reinforce you? It's not because the Russians are out of MPP. Oh, the supply isn't good enough there. That's fair enough. Okay. So in the future, I could probably try to use the sub to do the spotting and then do the bombing with the bombers. Sounds like a plan. Let's pull the battleship further back. Okay, over here, we know there is somewhere on here a raider. We gotta find. In fact, we think there's probably two. Yeah, there's probably two of them. Reinforce the air wing as well. Okay, we think it may still be there. Okay, it's not there. Although we think one of them's still on the line, of course. And I think we still think there's two of them as well. I'm trying this end at the bottom. And of course, the subs are mostly targeting our income and not actually the blockade. Which is semi-reasonable, I suppose. Okay, pushing in some French ships to serve as the reserve. Of course, I hit the sub all the way out. Yeah. Hey, let's get back to port. Yeah. Sub is out of strike range for the recon bombers. Okay. Somehow I sailed over it the first time. Oh, it's running on silent. That's why. Okay, so yeah, the dreadnought's past it. Oh, can you move? A little bit. Not much. Okay, let's get these guys deployed. We're deploying. Yeah, that's probably enough unless I want to grab artillery. Let's get that plane functional. Don't want to over-reinforce those guys. Western Front is mostly going to be stable until we get the artillery to really de-entrench people. We're a bit static there. Okay, purchase-wise, the Italians can afford their replacements. We'll pick their replacement up. Serbians are spent. Could probably make use of another recon bomber. Down on the Ottoman front. Yep, it's still in that port. Yeah, let's give a recon bomber for trying to recon these guys. Oh, I could save him get a core for the Albanians. The Albanians would definitely be well positioned for a core. Yeah, we'll save it for the core. Let's grab a French mountain corps to deploy in Italy. Let's grab the last spying and intelligence for the British. Suppose I can ground attack started on the French. We need both of them to get the bombing to be worth it. Or, actually, no, let's get infantry going. French. And I've already checked myself into grabbing the core. Although, no, let's grab industry tech. 10% more industry is going to be good. And the sooner you get it going, the sooner it can apply and generate revenue. Okay, we're going to go ahead and cycle this turn. We're going to see how they respond, and then that's where we're going to put the part break in, bringing this part in this stream to a close. Loss of grain from Galatia leads to more hunger in Austria-Hungary. Ottoman morale falls to the loss of Erzum. Capture of Erzum boosts Russian morale. German forces surrender in Southwest Africa. Scientists report progress on artillery weapons, 92%. So not this turn, but next turn we will have artillery. Not this upcoming turn, but the turn after next. We'll have artillery weapons 1 for the French. And it's going to take a turn to upgrade it, and then the French will start to do some damage. Italian command and control level 1. Almost got trench warfare. Serbian trench warfare level 2. British British MPP is starting to go up. We're at 166. 355 for the French, 177 is the Italians, 111 for Serbia. None of the supplies got through to Russia. Although Russia's still making decent amount, 352. And America gets 14. I'm half wondering if they're hitting their own mines. So we're hearing in the background. I think we might be coming up on the end of the turn. Loss of gain from Galatia leads to Hungary and Austria-Hungary. $200,000 Welsh miners strike over pay. Foreign Minister, diplomatic success, Central Power, Netherlands towards Central Powers, okay. Scotland blockade imports to Germany. And then West Sea. Uns increasingly blame Germany for the war, and many German officers are assaulted. Ooh, that's not an event I've had before. Presumably due to the Ottoman national morale declining. Belgrade damage from bombing. French 2nd Corps. Cavalry down there. Destroyer, new destroyer. We try to use it to help out there. And this is a seaplane carrier, same sort of thing. We'll probably be deploying it to go out that way. Got the detachments for Serbia. Well, technically... Ooh, that's an interesting predicament. I'll have to do a slight move here, because otherwise I can't get the other one deployed. Because they have to be... The Montenegro forces need to be deployed in Montenegro. Fair enough. Yeah, I think this is where we're going to do a final review and then put the part break in. Combat losses. 20% in Germany, 30% Austria-Hungary, 8% the Ottoman Empire. So the majority of losses are the other side. Russians are making the most on the Entente side, 13%. 5 for Serbia, 3 for Italy, 10% for France, and 5% for the UK. These are the detailed losses. We can see that the Germans and the Austro-Hungarians are losing a lot of corps. Not mostly detachments, not mostly... Yeah, mostly corps. There's a couple ships. We've been losing a lot of mines. We've actually gone through 3 Russian mines, 1 French mine. We've mostly been losing corps as well. The detachments are mostly surviving. Okay. Graph-wise, national morale, 97, 95, 93, 95, 93. Okay, so everyone's on our side is not taking the penalty yet to unit morale. Germany's down to 91, so if they go much lower, they will take the penalty, but they've avoided it much like we have. Austria-Hungary is down to 81%, so they're taking a national morale hit on the unit morale. And the Ottomans are down to 72. I think 75 might be the second hit, so they may already be taking the second hit. The next point is 50. So still a way to go for the hit 50. And still a long way before we actually get them out of the war. I suppose we're going to look at a couple of the reports before we pack it up properly. Convoys, we can see the Serbian convoys are rising. The British convoys are rising. French convoy income is steady. Italian has turned on. The Russians are actually being fully interdicted, which is a bit of an issue. The Germans, we haven't been interdicting theirs. So theirs is mostly seasonal fluctuations. They are shipping stuff to Austria-Hungary, and nothing can get through to the Ottomans as of yet. Air surface raiders have taken some damage, and we've done some damage to the German ones, although it's only a MPP. Then we're not raiding, so there's no point in looking at that. Research and diplomacy. About 3,800. 580. I think they're apparently doing more research than me. Able to put more towards research. Okay. And we haven't been doing it in plunder. Germany got a little bit. That's it. MPPs. We're collecting more than we're spending. Although we're pretty much spending everything every turn. So... And we have lost more units than we spent. I think that's ships. Maybe. Spent more than we've lost more than we spent. Still collecting more than we're earning, or than we're spending on units. So it's getting into research. Lost more than we spent, which isn't super surprising. We had a couple oopses trying to hold places. We've actually spent more than we've lost as Serbia, so that kind of makes sense. Serbian troops are reaching the point where we actually almost got all of them. We haven't spent more than we lost as the Russians. We've lost quite a bit, apparently. They've lost more than they spent by a factor of like 3 to 1. Although they've still spent, or they've also lost more than they've collected. So they are full strength standpoint, probably losing strength. They've lost more than they're spending. That makes sense. That's why it's sort of seeming like they're starting to run low on troops. And the Ottomans haven't been in the war for very long, and they're getting pretty close to losing more than they are collecting. So we are definitely attriting them down. And that is the state of the run. I have to resist the urge to continue to play more because I need to sleep sometime tonight. Mesopotamia is... There's been no fighting down there, but it's going reasonably well. We want to get rid of the detachment, and then we basically will lay siege to Baghdad. And once that's done, we're actually kind of done there. We're not going to try to leave the area because the supply is atrocious. There's the one national morale objective, so we basically take the national morale objective and then see if the enemy comes to us. We get the artillery upgrade, which we're working towards. We're almost there. The British aren't going as fast as the French. They're at 68%. We'll start to be able to attrit the forces down here in Egypt. And as far as the Ottomans are concerned, this is national morale city. National morale, national morale, national morale, national morale, national morale. Eventually we'll get the event for the revolt down in Arabia. Get the Lawrence of Arabia set of events. Oh, and here's a national morale event. So if we get the revolt over here and we get that place, I think we get Lawrence of Arabia to spawn in, which is another command for that front. And we're putting pressure here. There's an objective. We don't have the artillery to take Permasil Fort or Kakarau. But we basically have one more objective we can take here before we basically need to stall on this line until we get artillery operational. Russians are also probably getting pretty close. They're not as far... Actually, they might be as far as the British. No, the British are 6% faster. But... And then we need to get the artillery. And then we start blowing things up. That's kind of what's going on here. In here, the Ottomans are a little weak, so we've been able to sort of push them. Plus the fact that mountain corps get +1/1 when fighting in the mountains, and this is, like, all mountains. So, as long as we're careful, the mountain corps do good work here. So yeah, we're basically going to push them back to this objective down here and circle and crush that objective. At which point, it's just keep them from taking it back, because it's not going to be worth trying to push. There's no national morale objectives until we get to Constantinople, Samira, Gallipoli. Although one hope that would be going on is that if we do take those national objectives there and here, that at some point they might pull the forces off of Gallipoli, because we definitely want to do a Gallipoli landing. I'm not smashing one Marine head first into a normal unit. Again, trying to resist the urge of the play, I'm not going to go reveal that unit for you to show you why that's not going to work as it currently is. We're not doing super hot here in North Italy. We're going to need to sort of stop attacking for a while and recover. But from the objective standpoint of Austria-Hungary, objective. If this starts to fall apart on them, they lose objectives real quickly. And the Austro-Hungarians really can't tolerate to lose more national objectives. They've already lost 6,000 national morale. Although I don't necessarily know how valuable those objectives are. Be a little finicky trying to get these to show up. I know we can see them because we've had them... Oh, just showed up for a moment there. There we go. The Ottomans have got 16,000 left. They're done 72%. And of course, the Germans are the ones we need to actually get to 0. We need to get the Germans out of the war to win the game. Gonna play a long tooltip. There we go. So yeah, you can see the Germans have quite a bit. The Germans have 5,000. No, have 50,000. We've almost taken 5,000 off of them, which is... And that's after accounting for all the bonuses they've got. So, that's going reasonably well. And yeah, this is where we're going to put the end in here. We got decent funds for Russia, France, Even the Italians have got decent, although the Italians are probably going to spend it all replacing their losses. The British are a little starved, but then that's because we're basically shipping stuff off from the British to every corner of the world. So with that, I'm going to head and do the outro. If you're watching on YouTube, there should be a part up for you tomorrow. This is the end of the stream, so the part up for you tomorrow is dependent on us being able to stream in the future. If you're watching on Twitch, let me bring up this stream schedule so I can remind myself what the schedule is as I go over it. And I probably need to update it. I may not have updated it recently. Okay, so tomorrow is going to be Victoria 3. The last run on this Qing run that we've started. Because a major patch is supposed to come out on the 11th. I think it's supposed to come out on the 11th. So if we would follow normal sequencing, tomorrow's stream is on the 8th. If we're not done by the end of that stream, the next one would normally be on the 12th. So by then it would be a new patch, and we really should start over at that point. So Monday is going to be the Qing run. I think we can get it done in one stream. It may be a long stream. So that's Monday. Tuesday is going to be the return to Shadow Empire. Wednesday is going to be, or I'd say the continuation of Shadow Empire. We're tied for first, slowly moving forward. I think we've now got that road through. We're going to start contemplating whether or not we can get to the point where we can integrate the other subjects, which will put us solidly in first. Not put us anywhere near winning, but like well in the lead at that point. Wednesday is going to be the continuation of Terra Invicta. Hopefully we get to some space combat. We've got the space mines going. So it's really getting the research together to get some ships that are not completely inept. Humanity First beat us to getting the first ship in orbit. Because they're willing to build inept ships. I'm not. And well, we basically did it all off of commercial boost, so our boost was a little bit slow in getting us places. And then Thursday, the upcoming Thursday, will be the continuation of Strategic Command, where we continue our run as the Entente. The Entente is definitely doing better in our run than it did in our Central Power run. So, we still got a long way to go. The Ottomans are the closest to being defeated. And to be fair, when the Ottomans are defeated, I do believe that applies a national morale hit to Germany. Because if it didn't, then there wouldn't really be a reason to actually fight the Ottomans. Because our primary objective is... I can probably actually bring up the primary objective here, now that I'm talking about it. Acting conditions, there we go. Our primary objective is to get Germany to either surrender or have the national morale below 1%. We actually control our minor objective. So if we can just stall to the end of the game, we win. It's just a question of, do we have a minor victory or a major victory? Obviously, we're pushing for the major victory. And trying to see if we can get it done before we did when we got the major victory as the Central Powers. Which is, I'd argue the Central Powers is the harder of the two sides, because you've got to get two majors surrendered. You need to get either Russia, France, or the UK surrendered. Although, maybe getting 3 wouldn't make it that harder. Much harder, right? If you can get Russia and France to surrender, the UK is probably going to follow along pretty quickly behind, as we kind of showed in our last run, where the UK was about to surrender anyway, when France surrendered. But yeah, so we got to get the Germans to surrender, and the Germans are a tenth of the way finished at this point. Of course, getting their allies to surrender, both the Austro-Hungarians and the Ottomans cause national morale hits to the Germans when they surrender. So we want to try getting them surrendering too. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and I think we're done for the stream. If you have any comments, feel free to leave them. I'm going to put a save in as soon as we're done on done recording the YouTube video. If you're watching on YouTube, feel free to leave comments. If you're watching on Twitch and you've got any comments you want responded to, now is the last opportunity to leave them. I'm going to leave the stream for about a minute after I end the recording here. And I am, hopefully at this point, going to stop rambling and do that ending. So until next time, wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part, and bye for now.